This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You are watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Now, this was a fairly difficult fight to score between John Ryder and Daniel Jacobs. Now, I've been a fan of Daniel Jacobs for a long time, but of course, John Ryder, he's a Brit, and I'm always going to be biased when it comes to the Brits. So therefore, I wanted him to win. But if I'm being brutally honest, I'm not too sure John Ryder did win this fight. I'm really not too sure. Based on what I was watching, again, I mean, maybe I was warped by the commentary, and we know that Andy Lee's scoring of rounds and fights are pretty diabolical at the best of times. So maybe I was convinced by some of that. But either way, I did feel that Daniel Jacobs won this fight. Only just, but I do feel that he won arguably a draw. I don't think I would have complained too much of a draw, but at the same time, it was pretty much, as Jimmy Greaves used to say in the football terms, it was a game of two halves. First half was Daniel Jacobs, second half was John Ryder, and I did feel that for John Ryder to maybe even get a draw, I felt that he needed to win round number 12, and I'm not too convinced that he did. There were some close rounds, swing rounds, so again, it's going to cause a bit of a debate in the comment section, I'm sure. Well, some will agree that John Ryder should have won it. Some will say Daniel Jacobs should have won it. Some will say that arguably a draw. And I can't really argue too much about it. I'm just telling you how I felt the fight was going, because I was a little bit deflated at the thought of John Ryder losing this fight. I was fully expecting the referee to raise the hand of Daniel Jacobs. One judge gave it to Daniel Jacobs. I believe it was by 2 rounds, if I remember rightly. I only had the scores once. And the other 2 judges had it in favour of John Ryder by 2 rounds. So, I mean, just that bit alone will tell you that the scoring is very, very subjective when it comes to this fight. At the same time, maybe we could argue that Daniel Jacobs, he didn't really complain too much at the end. Maybe that's just him being a good sport. It could be that, but I do feel that John Ryder may have got a hometown decision on this one. At the same time, Daniel Jacobs was once upon a time the poster boy for Matchroom and DAZN, was he not? He was like their flagship signing. Big things for him. Of course, he's been in there with like Canelo and whatever else. But I did feel that in this fight, especially in the first half, Daniel Jacobs was very, very in control. And John Ryder had to come through some strong adversity. I mean, you know, he was really taking some lickings in that fight, and Daniel Jacobs was showing his class, and I thought, okay, here we go. John Ryder is just going to be at the end of his road now. But he came back. In all fairness, he really did. He came back strong, really, really strong. And Daniel Jacobs, I don't know, did he take his foot off the gas because he thought he had the fight in the bag and just gave away some rounds? I mean, maybe that is possible. But when you're away from home, you have to make sure you get that win. So it's okay winning the first half, but because a couple of those rounds were a little bit close, you have to really make sure that you do nick at least 2 or 3 rounds in the second half of the fight, which I don't think Daniel Jacobs really done. But anyway, listen, we have to say congratulations to John Ryder. Of course, yes, I am happy. Of course, he's a Brit, and of course he got the win. But listen, I'm never going to gloss over something where I feel that, listen, I don't think John Ryder won this fight. I really don't. Much like I do feel that he did beat Callum Smith. But anyway, listen, I'm sure that Eddie Hearn will be somewhat happy. I imagine that Daniel Jacobs may go off and just do something else now. Maybe even retire now. I mean, I've always liked Daniel Jacobs. I really have. Of course, he's a miracle man after having cancer in his back and all that kind of stuff. Yes, of course, he lost to Pirog way back in the day. Of course, he's taken a couple of losses along the way since, or just 2 more actually, but now he's just taken a 4th loss of his career. So where does he really go if he's got world title aspirations? Again, this was a super middleweight. It was super middleweight, right? I'm sure it was. So maybe he's in between no man's land. He's too big for middleweight, but he's too small for super middleweight. I mean, height-wise, he's perfectly fine. But John Ryder is a natural super middleweight, isn't he? I mean, he's been doing it for quite some time. Again, John Ryder, he used to be middleweight himself, but he's a big unit, he's strong, and maybe he did get the rub of the green for the home. Maybe so. Anyway, listen, I'm sure there's going to be split decisions right the way through this one throughout the comment section, so feel free to argue amongst yourselves. I shall certainly be watching it with intent. Drop your thoughts below, and of course click thumbs up, and I'll catch you on the next video. Subscribe.